Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sisto Says, powered by Design 2147, a New York City building and code consulting firm. Today I have Bill Costa of Source Euro. Bill, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thank you, Sisto.
So great to have you. So Bill, usually I get on this show and we talk about, all the New York City building laws and the codes and all this fun stuff. But today we got an interesting show. And I always start the show, I believe in the power of people. And, being a member of BizDevel, there was an event at one of your showrooms that you rep. And we started talking and we just hit it off. And it was
now we know why, right?
And now we know why.
One of the reasons.
Yeah. So we end up growing up 10, 11 blocks from each other.
That
Crazy.
We just found this out.
We just found that out a few minutes ago. And you rep some incredible products.
I rep some incredible companies that make some incredible products and do custom fabrication and so on. I've been very, very blessed to be working with these companies.
And the reason why I asked you to come on the show was when I was in the showroom, it had a vibe. The place just had a presence. Not only was the product amazing, but the space in and of itself had a vibe.
Yeah,
and that vibe drew me to you to start talking to you about it. And here we are. So the first question I always ask people is, so we met at this event, we spoke for about 20 minutes, and I told you immediately I wanted you to come on the show.
Nah, I said to you, I want to come on your show. And you just said immediately, sure.
Then I'm mistaken. You threw yourself onto me.
I was jumping right in there because I was very excited about it. And I saw the way you were talking to people. They were very engaged, very interested. And what I do is very important to understand who I work with and what I do. And you got it immediately.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. So you just don't wake up one day and say, I'm going to do this. I'm sure there's a path. I love for our audience to, you don't just wake up, like I always say, you didn't wake up one day and say, well, I'm going to sell and entertain these beautiful companies and these beautiful products. There's a path to get there. So how did you go from coming out of Stuyvesant High School to where you are now? There was a journey of some sort. So just give the audience a little bit of an understanding of how you got to where you are now and repping these products.
First, let me mention, he's mentioning Stuyvesant because he went to Brooklyn Tech.
That's right. I wasn't smart enough.
Heavy rivalry between the two. Anyway.
But just for the record, book smart, street smart.
Here we go.
You need both.
Well, I could never figure out what I wanted to do when I grew up, and I still haven't figured it out. But I went to Stuyvesant because it was, good school and everything, and I was going to be a doctor or a lawyer. Went to pre-med, went to NYU, and I felt it was like an extension of high school. It was probably 100 kids from Stuyvesant there, and I was like, this is not what college is supposed to be. So I found this school, Alfred University, and the vocation of the future, ceramic engineering, so I went there. Meanwhile, it was the middle of nowhere in farmland. I was going crazy because that was the disco days, right? I had a hopped up Camaro. I'm driving up there, crushed velvet interior. They're looking at me like, who is this guy? So big mistake.
Out of the Big Apple.
So I came back to New York. Well, I spent a year and a half there. I discovered industrial design up there with Wally Higgins, great instructor. And I came back and I went to Pratt for industrial design. So I graduated from Pratt.
Down the street from Brooklyn Tech.
And then I went to work in exhibit design. Then I went to work for a furniture and lighting company, AI, Atelier International. I don't know if you remember them. That was a while ago. And they had two brands, Floss and Arteluce, lighting brands. That Floss is still, I think, one of the best lighting companies
still
in
around,
the world.
still popular.
Yeah, no, it's grown immensely, incredible company. And I spent almost 20 years there, and in that I got to know a lot of, because when you worked for Floss in Italy, it was like it was up here. It still is. So I got to know a lot of companies, and it occurred to me that they're not known here. They're amazing companies, but they're not known here. So I decided
Meaning they were known in the European market,
right.
but not in the United States.
Exactly. In fact, all the time I was working for Floss up until the last 5 years, Floss never advertised. They never had to advertise. Yeah,
I love that.
Exactly. So, and at Floss, I learned just so many things. I got to work with people like Philippe Stark, Achille Castiglione. I mean, insane talent. I got to be at that table during product development, so it was an insane experience for me. So, and I also just got to know the Italian approach to design, quality, perfection. They're very, very passionate about what they do. So anyway, Floss, and then eventually I went out on my own to help bring some of those companies to the States.
US, yeah.
So I went to work for the best at the time metal worker in the whole world, doing incredible, incredible sculptural things, staircases, this, that, and the other thing. Unfortunately, they went bankrupt, which can often happen to companies that reach too far, right? But then I worked with Swarovski Crystal Palace, which was a division of Swarovski, just doing special projects. Gaetano Pesce, Zaha Hadid, some of the best talent in the world. And I was helping to develop those products.
Wow.
So I got to know other manufacturers now and subcontractors to Swarovski, because Swarovski does crystals.
Right.
But that was the advent of LEDs. They had mechanisms going on. So many things going on. It was an incredible experience for me. Not to mention, we threw the sickest parties in Milan and Miami when Design Miami started, Art Basel, and things like that. So it was an amazing experience.
So it had the vibe too.
The vibe
it just wasn't the design part of it. It had a whole culture to it.
Exactly. But there's a level of quality and commitment and image and branding that was present in all that I'm doing all these years that you can't go backwards. And that's why I've worked.
Well, when you start at the very top with that type of commitment, and that's what you see, and you know it works. Right. It's hard to not work for a competitor or even a different product that doesn't live up to those standards.
That's exactly right, and that's why I never really went to work for another lighting company, because I wasn't feeling it. So I started working with metal company, stone workers. Now I work with glazed lava stone company. Different companies doing different things, but really custom fabrication, because you asked me earlier, what do people want in the market and so on. I deal in the high end to the ultra high end.
Right.
Because I heard that recently. In fact, somebody at BizDevel used that word, the ultra high end.
Because it's funny that you say that, because I meet an enormous amount of people. I get introduced to so many people. Oh, sister, this person would be great for you to meet. Great. Set up coffee, set up lunch. I'm always a yes guy. I'll meet anybody, anywhere. Take me to a little place where I can have a cappuccino or an espresso, and I can sit and talk. I love it. I love meeting people. I love understanding their story. And part of my show is always to understand the story. Anybody can come here and sell something or talk about a law or give us their opinion. But telling their story is what connects us to everyone. And when you look at some of these products, and we talk about ultra high end and high end, when we go now, years ago, high end meant, if you do an apartment and it's this much and above. Now there's this new thing that it starts at X million, goes to this million, and then it goes to the next tier. Before, those two tiers were looped together, and even in our world as expediters, they'll come to us, architects or interior design, and say, oh, sister, somebody bought, we have a townhouse on East, 65th Street. They want to renovate it. They're going to take a 3-family and make it a 1-family. And the person describing it, well, it's ultra high end. And I was like, high end is high end, but it's changed.
Yes. However, let me go back to something you just said. It's not really about cost. It's about value. It's the value that somebody puts on some of these things.
Got you.
Custom fabrication, which is what I do with all of my companies, is all about that. It's giving those well-heeled clients are coming to architects and interior designers for their vision. What's your get to know me, and then what's your vision for our living space, our entertaining space, whatever.
And it's very personalized.
Very personalized.
It's
so that there's a whole relationship thing going on there. And then my relationship is largely, relationship is largely with the architect or interior designer.
Sure.
To help them realize their vision and get it right.
Right, and so one of the things that I found very interesting when I was at the showroom was it appears that it's not a product that is going to get mass produced. It's a product that gets built, but it can be interchanged to any vision, from leather to wood to this to that. You can personalize it, the system's there, but it becomes, once someone says, this is what I want, now you're designing a walk-in closet, which you took me through. And you told me how many variations and doors and hardware and shelves, and it becomes like its own project of its own.
No, it is. Well, that's the whole, we haven't mentioned the name of the company yet, so I'll say Rimedesio. Rimedesio is the company, is based in Italy. We have our showroom at 29th and Madison, and it's absolutely beautiful. But besides beautiful, I've seen lots of beautiful showrooms. There's an ethos, there's a mission, there's a look that is communicated there. That speaks to the sustainability of the product. It's all made from recycled and recyclable materials. They have an incredible commitment to the environment. They were the largest furniture producer in Italy 30 years ago to introduce water-based lacquers before anybody even knew what VOCs were, as an example. They use solar panels, electric vehicles, the whole bit.
Right, they do it the right way.
They do it the right way, and one can comment, most of the companies I've worked for work with the greatest talents in the world to design products. This company used one architect and engineer, Giuseppe Bavuzzo, to basically create a vision for the company and look at what the market needs and design systems. So they have two things. They have products. They have tables and chairs, and they have furniture. They have beautiful products. But to me, Rimedesio is a systems-oriented company. Wall systems, cladding, sliding door systems, swing doors, closet systems, storage systems. That can be, as you said, customized to anything. And that's my specialty with my other brands, is custom fabrication, because that's what the well-heeled clients want. But getting back to value, Rimedesio, even though it's considered a higher-end brand, it's not an ultra-high-end, it's a higher-end brand. I just did a project where it was $1.6 million in custom millwork. It was a big project in Nantucket, one of those houses that goes down into the ground, up into another little guest house, because you can't change anything above the ground. We turned that into $850,000 worth of product installed that the architect loved, the client loved. The billionaire client walked into the showroom, walked around, kicked the tires, opened the doors, this, that, and the other thing, called the architect and said, do it. I mean...
Well, you bring up, part of the show is we always try to, tie it into the New York City market, what's happening, right? And so a couple of things. One is, with that type of systems and those products, being in that showroom, again, I'm going back to it, there is something about touching those things. Feeling it, touching it, knowing that every morning when you wake up, you're going to go in your house, maybe in the Hamptons or on Park Avenue South, and you're going to be in your penthouse, and you're going to slide that door open. There is something to that feeling.
Thank you for that, because you hit it on the head. I have a cottage, not even a house. It's a small house in the Hamptons, and I put Rimedesio doors in my closet. Every time I open them, the opening, the damping system, I smile.
Of course.
Every single time. The drawers, we have the smallest details that they pay attention to. And again, all my fabricators are doing the same thing. They do an extrusion that wraps around the corners of the drawers. So there's no mitered sharp edges. There's one seam at the bottom, and everything else it's tooled extrusion. It's
like
gorgeous.
It's like NASA. It's like them building
Exactly.
the ship
highly tooled, highly machined, precision, hardware. They do their own hardware.
And that's why when you walk up close to it and you see it, you look at the shelves, you couldn't even see how the shelf was attached to it. It was just so perfectly clean and so meticulously done. It was really and like I said, someone probably is going to tune into this show and say, well, Sisto's got some person on the show that's not really talking about building laws and construction, but we're going to talk about.
It relates to the market, like you said. What are the trends? Who's buying what? This and that. To answer your earlier question, these people are walking into our showroom. They bought an apartment, around the block, and they're like, "This is gorgeous. Do my closets. Here are the plans." And we do full service, renderings, this, that, and the other thing. But most important is they like the look, but then they like the feel. And we're filling every gap in between. A project manager, showroom manager, all our people are super passionate about the company that they work with.
And when you're able to sell something that stands behind what they believe in, and they can bring that to the people that are going to install it, then you know that the company's done the right thing. They've done the ultimate thing. So we hear a lot about, and you're a New Yorker, I'm a New Yorker. I don't live here now, I live in Stamford, Connecticut, but I grew up here. I've been working here. Next month will be 4 decades of pulling permits. We've done everything from, very tiny things to super luxurious things, and anything in between. And I keep hearing, well, everybody's leaving. But then I go to a seminar and say, well, we have a housing crisis. So are they leaving, or do we have a housing crisis? That's one. And two is we're getting a lot of work that for a long time we've always done it, but now we're starting to get to the forefront where people are coming to us with very high-end architects that their clients are buying townhouses in Manhattan that haven't been touched probably in 30, 40 years, and they're doing complete guts, spending a lot of money to purchase them, millions and millions, 10, 20 million to buy the building, and then spend another. So that market seems to be heating up for us in terms of permits. So I wanted the audience to understand what's your take, because you're in it every day. Architects are coming to you and saying, hey, we have this penthouse, we have this, we have that.
If you're enjoying the show, please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Now back to the show.
Every single day, I'm working on a sick townhouse down on Worcester Street. We're doing some incredible apartments downtown and uptown with Remedazio. Like I said, I work with other fabricators, so doing custom work, so metalwork, staircases, stonework. Doing something for a townhouse in the village, a fountain painted and glazed lava stone fountain in the garden. These crazy tables.
Your spectrum is so broad.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing, one of my companies is doing the new Maison Goyard store on Madison Avenue, all the millwork. This staircase is going to be amazing. We're 50% done. It should be done this summer. Crazy staircase with illuminated glass steps. It's going to be insane. So we do all the millwork there, the staircase and the facade. Wow. So they do.
Even the facade.
Even the facade. They do custom windows and facade. So metalwork, woodwork, glasswork, all that. That's Neva. That's one company. Materica is a sister company. It's part of a group, and they do this custom metallization. I brought some samples tonight.
I'd love to see some of it.
So when we talk about clients that want what they want, okay, I want something really different, decorative, but I like a patinaed metal. What can we do? Okay, this is actually fabric. This crushed velvet fabric that they sprayed on pure molten brass, and then they polish it out. And this is the same thing with a zinc plating with a patina on it.
That's amazing.
So this company is doing all kinds of crazy, this is...
You say crazy, but I mean just...
No, gorgeous. These they're doing big panels. I'm doing a lobby in Chelsea with panels similar to this. They'll look bronze, but this is actually high density foam that's milled with a pattern, and then they spray on, again, it's true pure metal. It's not... They also do metallic paint. They do liquid metal, which is resin and metal powder, but it's not quite as vibrant as this. To get back to the point before, value, cost, and so on, we live in a world now, you said it yourself in a few of your podcasts, you travel a lot, you see, you've been to Europe, you see, you feel those old stones on the floor, the mosaics, incredible bronze doors. I went to, when I was in Padua, I went to a cathedral with these huge, solid bronze doors.
Amazing.
That take your breath away, okay? So these guys will do that and spray.
And create, and be able to create something that's different, but still has that.
And only weighs 5 pounds.
That's what I was just about to say.
But it's real, it's...
Right, you can hang it, you can do it, you could work with it. You don't need a crane to get it in on a huge wall.
Exactly.
You know, it all kind of starts to fit into the way the world works. But one of the things that you said is that the stuff you work on and the clients that you have is they're not looking for something that comes out of a catalog.
Exactly.
They're looking for something that's customized to their personality, who they are, and part of your job is to bring that realization to them. And that's awesome, because in a lot of ways, you're not just selling the product, you're selling the vision.
Exactly. And the vision is not just, I don't know if you remember the days when there were all the renderings of Dubai and all these crazy things they were going to build and this and that. And they built them.
Right.
But go to them and see how things fit together. They did it in a really crappy, low-end way. A lot of it, most of it.
Because of speed.
Because of speed.
I've been to Dubai.
And because of cost.
And because of cost.
Okay.
But you know what? Stay there for a second. So actually, his name came up the other day. A good friend of mine, Lou Madigan. He's a developer and an owner's rep in New York City. We've probably done 15 buildings for them. And he always said, in one of my shows, he said, it's amazing how technology has gotten so much better. Technology in and of itself. He said, we should build buildings faster. We should build them cheaper. We have all this stuff, and the craftsmanship has gotten worse. He says, and he always believed it's because for you to get in and get out on a lot of these projects, time is so important that they forgot what it's like. But once you have a building, and like you go into an apartment, it's 4,000 square feet in Midtown Manhattan, the shell's there. Now, that inside, you could make it as detailed and as perfect as you want it to be. But the guy's throwing it up, he swears that technology should have helped this, brought the cost down, and actually it has done neither one or the other.
Yeah, well, technology should help us all plan better, because there are, if you want that look and that feel in those materials, there's a time frame, and it's a reasonable time frame. It's the usual 3-4 months. If you get it done here, you get it done in Italy, it's the same time frame.
Bill, I just ordered a brand. I'm doing an extension on my house. I'm putting a new garage on. I ordered a door from Windorama, an Anderson door. He tells me 7 weeks. You're doing custom stuff that's out of the world in Europe in 3 to 4 months.
Right,
it's nothing.
It's not much more than that. But unfortunately, the reality of my situation is I deal with the architects and the designers and this and that. Something gets lost, and I'm always up against it. And I get subbed out a lot. But no, we got to have this in 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Who thought that you could do a handmade mosaic floor made in Europe Italy, wherever.
Wherever.
In 6 weeks. It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
I
And listen,
did a sick, beautiful curved, mirror polished steel bench. It was enormous for a lobby in New York City. It had to be in before the revolving doors went in, before the entrance was closed up, because that was the only way to get it into the building. Somewhere along the line, we were a week late, and they pushed up the closure of the entrance 2 weeks. We had to air freight this thing in to get it in time, but we did, and it got there, and it looks looks amazing. Air freight is not as crazy as what you might think. We do a lot of air freighting.
Well, because if it sits in a cargo box for
Right. Would you rather have it in 10 days or in 6 weeks?
Right.
So 10 days plus the handling is better.
Sure.
And you're talking about very valuable materials and products and so on anyway. So it's a small percentage of the actual cost.
Well, you're having a great show, and me and you could just keep talking and talking and talking. I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. So one of the things we do towards the end of every show is we kind of project the future. And I think, guys like us that have been around a while, right? So you have all these wonderful products. What do you think the market's going to be like for the next couple of years here in New York City? Do you think this market of people looking for the stuff that you sell is going to stay on that pattern, or you think it's going to slow down a little bit?
There's two things that are happening concurrently. People are traveling more, people are seeing more. There's a lot more imagery around, right? You see, your wife sees something, this is what I want the bathroom to look like, get it done, whatever it is. So consequently, there are a lot more products. They have all these wood-looking planks that are actually porcelain now, right?
Yeah.
Which it's a great idea because they wear like iron. It's great, and they're not expensive. They produce them by the thousands and so on. I went to a coffee shop the other day. Overused, floor, ceiling, walls, everything.
Too much.
It was too much, and it was terrible. That's not it.
That's not it.
I'm doing sandblasted oak flooring with a metallized finish for somebody now. This is not it, but this is what it might look like in copper, as an example. It's not copper, but
it looks like a piece of tongue groove wood.
It is. This is actual wood, but it's been metallized. So I can't tell you the project, but it's going to be spectacular, international project. Anyway, my point was two things happening. People see more, want more. They're inspired by more of what's going on, a lot in Europe and around the world. And there are manufacturers that are producing those products at a reasonable price level. But people that have been to the actual St. Peter's in Rome, or a grotto, or a restaurant in Taormina, or whatever it is that really, and you know what I'm talking about. Wow, I was just in a very small town in Umbria, because I'm working on a castle in Umbria.
Yeah, you had told me that.
Yeah, amazing project. But I went into this little restaurant, all the ceilings, arches, there are hundreds and hundreds. It's a medieval town. So when you see the real thing, you want real terracotta bricks or glazed lava stone or painted. You want this crackle. You want the real thing. Right. That's what I do. So I'm not afraid at all. I'm a New Yorker. In my opinion, New York will always be the center of the world. Are there people leaving for political reasons or this or that?
Yeah,
I guess
maybe. But they've been doing that forever.
But they've been doing that forever. I had enough of New York.
But it's just, we're just more sensitized.
I'm going to New Jersey.
Right.
I'm going to Florida.
Right. We're more sensitized to it. Me and my wife, we raised our kids in Stamford, Connecticut, but yet we're in the city 2 nights a week. We can't get enough of it, The
city is amazing. It will always be the center of so much, and
especially in your world of design and these type of. There's no other place. You walk along Park Avenue, and you could go from place to place and look at a million different things.
And also, let's let's talk about it. But the people that I work with and that are doing these type of apartments and homes, it's not their only place, too.
Right.
So there's a landing pad in New York. There's a place in the Hamptons. There's
Right.
one out in
There's
Palm
one
Beach.
there's one on the slopes in
Vail,
Utah. Right.
Wherever. So they will always have a place. Miami too is the same.
Yep.
A lot of people just own places. Miami's a huge market for Rima Deja. We opened up a showroom down there. We're doing phenomenal.
No, when you're there, Miss Josephina, who you've met several times, she lives in Miami, and she comes back and forth. Yeah, so
okay.
I'm gonna come down and see the new showroom there.
Yeah, you got to check it.
I love Miami.
The design district. Yeah, it's all.
Well, Bill, this was incredibly entertaining. I am so glad that we got to meet. I'm glad you pushed yourself onto my show, but you really didn't push yourself. It was very mutual.
No, I want to thank you. I mean, this is great. We hit it off immediately. I can't believe we both grew up in Astoria, Queens.
Yeah.
That's like
Now our plan is we're going to go back and have a nice Greek dinner one night.
yeah,
We'll meet back in the
Kiklades.
state.
You ever been to Kiklades?
Absolutely.
Great, it's great. Okay,
Awesome.
so let me just show one other thing.
Sure.
This stone company that I work with, they do amazing mosaics and inlay. But this stuff is incredible. It's like a painting in marble. There's no grout there or anything. So this is what I'm working with, and stuff like this. I don't know if you can zoom on that. That is glazed lava stone. It is a zillion different colors, textures, finishes.
Beautiful.
I'm sorry if I'm making this like a commercial. I don't mean to, but I get so excited about the products I work with, the people at these companies that are super passionate about what they do.
So when I retire, can I become your personal assistant and you just take me back and forth to Italy?
Absolutely.
I speak fluent Italian.
Cool. You have to. That was a whole nother story I didn't get to about my first experience in Italy.
Listen, we're going to have you back on the show.
Cool.
And looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.
Phil,
Thank you
this
so
was
much.
great.
Thank you,
Thank
sister.
you.
Appreciate it.